Is it possible to beat the Zerg campaign with only Hydralisk? The rules are 1. Only Hydralisk can attack and defend. 2. Workers can mine and build, but not fight. 3. I can use Hunter Killers, because they look like Hydralisks. Duh. 4. I can build Overlords and use Overlord drops if needed. The first mission is easy. One of the objectives is to build a Hydralisk stand. After executing all my Zerglings, I built up an economy and amassed an army of Hydralisk and steamrolled the Terran base with ease. In the second mission, I don't really need to build an economy to win. I unlock an elite Hydralisk called the Hunter Killers. Hunter Killers are ridiculously powerful thanks to their high health and damage. Hunter Killers alone are enough to complete the mission. I successfully secured the Chrysalis safely with the drone and brought the drone to the beacon. Mission completed. The third mission gets challenging. The most challenging part of this mission is the Terran base up north. The Terran base up north is on a high ground, heavily guarded with siege tanks and bunkers. Tanks annihilate Hydralisks so easily, since Hydras are weak to splash damage. Before I attacked the Terran base up north, I built up my economy by expanding the northwest base. After having a big economy, I amassed an army of Hydras. I threw Hydralisks at the enemy base. The siege tanks slaughter so many Hydralisks. Fortunately for me, the AI is in Bronzing and does not know how to rebuild quickly. I destroy all siege tanks and all the production buildings, completing the mission. Mission 4's early game is rough. I start off with a low economy and 4 Hydralisks. 4 Hydras are enough to take down the first attack wave. But the second attack wave is brutal. I lose all my Hydras and almost die. Fortunately for me, the Hydralisk reinforcements cleaned up the second attack wave. After surviving for 10 minutes, I unlock Kerrigan. Too bad and too sad that Kerrigan is not a Hydralisk. I hide Kerrigan in a corner, put her on hold position, and pray she does not fight. 2 reasons why I have to use Overlord drops in this mission. 1. My base is on an island. 2. The mission objective is to destroy a command center on an island to the top right of the map. I drop my Hydras in Raynor's main base. Luckily for me, Raynor's main base is not heavily guarded with siege tanks and bunkers. I win the mission by destroying the command center. In the 5th mission, I unlock the Mighty Hunter Killer. The only challenging part is keeping my Hunter Killers alive. Hunter Killers alone are enough to solo the entire mission. Unfortunately, Hunter Killers can't activate the supercomputer. I have to bring Kerrigan to activate the supercomputer. Yuck! The Protoss bring out the big boys, the Reavers. Reavers are the main antagonists in this challenge. I have to be careful of Reavers. Reaver shots can end my entire Hydra army. I threw my entire army at the Protoss base. Luckily for me, the AI does not have enough Reavers to kill my Hydra army. So the Protoss base becomes really easy to destroy. Kerrigan was going to fight Tassadar, but Tassadar is scared of Hydra and runs away. Mission 7 is easy. I take the first base easily with only Hydras. I destroyed the enemy base to the southwest and claim it. After building an economy, I built a massive army of Hydralisks. The reason why this mission is easy is because my opponent has no source of splash damage. Hydras reign supreme in larger numbers and when there is no source of splash damage. I steamrolled the enemy base with ease. Oh, I also need Overlord drops in this mission. The early game in this mission is a little difficult. I start off with no Hydra then, low economy, and low Hydra. One scary thing about this mission is the Dark Templar attack. The DTs one-shot Hydra. And if a DT escapes, I lose a mission. DTs become less of a threat once I build up my Hydra army. Other than that, the mission is pretty easy. I find the 9th mission to be the most difficult. Not only do the Protoss have all the high-tech units unlocked, the AI is not afraid of using Storm and Reavers to counter my Hydras. I take my second base to the east, I steal Teal's base. It took me a few attempts to destroy Yellow's two bases. I bring my drone to harvest the objective. The Protoss attack waves are insane. Reavers and High Templar melt my Hydras. The Protoss counterattack my third base, and I'm almost out of money. After surviving painful attack waves for 10 minutes, my drone successfully harvested the crystal, and I bring the drone carrying the crystal to the beacon. I was expecting the 10th mission to be really difficult, but it's a really easy mission. There happens to be plenty of money in this mission. I destroy Teo's base to the bottom left and bottom right of the map. I take the base to the left, I build my economy and Hydra army. I threw my army at the Protoss guarding the temple. Surprisingly, the Protoss don't put much of a fight. I destroy the temple, I bring the drone, carrying the Kadarian crystal to the beacon. Mission completed. The first Brood War mission is Vile Disruption. Vile Disruption is a no-build mission. The objective is to rescue all 7 hives. Each hive comes under attack and gives me units when I rescue it. If one of the hives dies, I lose the mission. The mission starts off with 6 Hunter Killers. Hunter Killers are the most important unit to keep alive, since Hunter Killers are not replaceable units. With additional Hydralisk reinforcements, the mission becomes a cakewalk. Before I activate the final hive, I have to kill all the spore colonies and sunken colonies. When I save the last hive, I get a massive Hydra army, which is enough to wipe out the enemy attackers. Rain of Fire starts me off with the SCV holding the Psi emitter. Bringing the SCV close to the Zerg units gives me control of the Zerg. I can only control 2 drones and 3 Hunter Killers. If you try to build 2 hatcheries at once with 2 drones, you lose the mission. After building a big economy and army, I attack the Terran base and destroy the side disruptor. The Kel-Morian Combine is a rough mission. The objective is to mine 10,000 minerals. The game wants me to use Phoenix, Ultras, and Zerglings to clear out the starting base. Unfortunately, 5 Hydras alone can't clean the starting base alone, though there is a base I can take, the base to the right. The base to the right has mineral patches but no gas geyser, so I built a hatchery next to the main gas geyser. Not only do I have to worry about the enemy attack waves that send siege tanks and marines, I have to worry that Phoenix doesn't die. If he dies or gets a single kill, it's a reset. After dying a lot and resetting, I finally got enough money to build a Hydralisk den. I built enough Hydras to clear the base I originally was supposed to take. I finally took the original base I was supposed to take. I tech up to Overlord drops and put Phoenix inside the Overlord so he doesn't get a single kill. Now I gotta wait for 10,000 minerals to be mined and not die. I eventually get to 10,000 minerals and I win the mission. The Liberation of Korha is a simple mission. Destroy the enemy base. I start off with a massive mineral count. I start spending my minerals on hatcheries. However, I don't have enough Vespene gas to mass produce Hydralisks. I took bases that have Vespene gas. Once I get enough Vespene gas, I can mass produce Hydra army. I mass produce an army of Hydralisks, and I throw a lot of Hydras to the heavily defended Terran and Zerg bases. The massive army of only Hydralisks quickly overwhelms the enemy defenders and wipes them completely from the map. True Colors is a surprise attack mission. I have 6 minutes to do damage to the Protoss and Terran base before they start attacking my base. There are a few problems. I start off with a small economy. I have to make a difficult choice whether to build Hydras or drones. If I build too many drones, I give the enemy too much time to build. If I build too many Hydras, I have a weaker economy. And since I am not allowed to use Zerglings and Lurkers to attack, destroying the enemy bases during the surprise attack is slow with only Hydralisks. I chose to attack the Terran base instead. I destroyed the command center to the top left of the map. I take out all the production buildings at the second Terran base. The surprise attack ends. The enemy then attacks at my main base. Fortunately, I was prepared for the first attack wave the enemy set. I take the base to the top left and the third base. I take another base at the top right. After establishing a stable economy and a big army, I decide to attack the main Protoss base because I am scared of Reavers and High Templar. I quickly take out the entire Protoss base. Phoenix puts up a good fight, but he ultimately dies to a second time to Hydralisks. Next is the Terran base to the southwest. The Terran base to the southwest is well guarded with well positioned siege chains, battlecruisers, bunkers, and a rough terrain. The Terrans put up a good fight but are overwhelmed by the massive Hydra army. Duke is also killed in battle as well. Fury of the Swarm is a unique mission where my base is on an island. My other 4 bases are not on an island. The 4 bases not on an island are under attack by the Zerg early on the mission. I can't save all 4 bases, however there are some problems. There are sunken colonies at my bases. I can't allow a sunken colony to get a single kill. Here's what I do to stop sunken colonies from getting a single kill. I slowed down the game speed. I ordered my sunken colonies to attack my buildings instead of the enemy. During the attack, I rush Overlord drops and speed, so I can expand quickly. So I expand quickly to the northeast. Once I secured my second base to the northeast, I macro up to a massive army and kill all the scientists. Drawing of the Web is a mission where I have to bring Duran to activate the 5 beacons guarded by the Protoss. The only challenging part of this mission is the Dark Templar. If I don't have detection, the DTs can kill my entire army. And since Overlords are detectors in Starcraft 1, DTs don't stand a chance against massive armies that have detection. The beacons are guarded by Dark Templar and other Protoss units. But with proper Overlord coverage and decent army sizes, the Protoss bases fall easily. I bring Durant to activate all the 5 beacons and win the mission. To slay the beast was a mission I was dreading. Why do I dread this mission? Well, the enemy Terran and Zerg are heavily guarding the Overmind. Not only is the Overmind heavily guarded, he's on an island as well. And I have to use Dark Templar to kill the Overmind. I don't really need the Dark Templar to kill the Overmind, I just need the Dark Templar to be in melee range of the Overmind, so my Hydras can kill the Overmind. Before I can attack the main enemy base, I have to build up a big economy and max out my army to break the well-fortified enemy base. I built up a big economy and a maxed out army. I built a hatchery and a Nidus canal on the island. I send my Hydras through the canal, and my maxed out Hydra army quickly overwhelms the defenders. I have to send the DTs closer to the Overmind so my Hydras can kill the Overmind. Mission completed. The Reckoning gives me a time limit. I have 30 minutes to destroy the Protoss base before the Protoss escapes. I rush Overlord drops so I can get a drone to build a hatchery inside of the Protoss base. I built a Nidus canal in the Protoss base. I massed a bunch of Hydras and sent them to attack Protoss base. However, I get annihilated by Reavers and Storms. Instead of brute forcing the base, I decide to focus on killing high priority targets, such as Dark Templar, High Templar, and Reavers that can threaten my Hydra's army. After killing all the high priority targets, the base becomes easy to destroy. Omega is the final Brood War Zerg mission. The mission is simply to destroy all the enemy bases. The west base belongs to the Dominion, the southeast belongs to the Protoss, the northeast base belongs to the UED. All my enemies have all high-tech units unlocked, such as the battlecruisers, Reavers, High Templar, Siege Tanks, Science Vessels, and Dark Templar. The UED, Dominion, and Protoss will send powerful attack waves. Before I attack, I macro up. I expand to the south and north of my main base. I'm going to kill the Protoss first, since the Protoss are generally easier to kill. The Protoss base is not hard to break, since they don't have proper splash damage to kill me. With proper Overlord coverage and a massive army, the Dark Templar fall and the base becomes easy to wipe out. After wiping out the Protoss, I turn my eyes towards the UED. The UED base has a lot of air units, but fortunately for me, Hydralisk can attack air units. An army of mass Hydras melts the UED air forces and bases quickly. Now it's the last faction to the west, the Terran Dominion. I maxed out my army before I attacked the last base. The Dominion base is well guarded with siege tanks, bunkers, and spider mines. Mex proves himself to be a challenging opponent. He built so many siege tanks to prepare for my attack. His siege tanks slaughter so many of my Hydralisks. I focus on destroying all the factories so he can't build any more siege tanks. After destroying all the factories and tanks, Mex's base falls to my maxed out Hydra army. I could confidently say that it is possible to beat all the Zerg campaigns in Starcraft 1 with only Hydralisk.